world of smartphones got rocked a little last night. Samsung, a champion of, quote, our phone has got everything and can do anything, announced a flagship phone. Well, okay, a couple of phones with larger and smaller versions without a 3.5mm audio jack, and at least on one of the variants without micro SD expansion, two absolute stalwarts of Samsung's core specs for the last decade. As Oscar Wilde once said, to lose one major spec point is unfortunate, to lose two is carelessness, or something like that. In fact, it's losing 3 or even 4 spec points since there's also no heart rate sensor or oxygen saturation sensor. You could even argue 5 spec points since it's also lost a dedicated capacitive fingerprint sensor to be replaced by an under-display ultrasonic sensor, which you just know isn't going to be as fast or reliable. So why would anyone buy the Note 10 over last year's Note 9, a stunning pocket computer, effectively, and one I used for a solid 3 months at the start of 2019? Good question. There's a slightly faster chipset, slightly more RAM, a slightly bigger, though with punch hole cutout notice display, a slightly better main camera, a slightly better telephoto, and a brand new wide angle lens, plus the ability to charge even faster, though my usual caveats over battery longevity apply here. Plus you have to pay extra for the 45-watt charger mentioned at the launch. Are these incremental improvements worth the potentially crippling loss of the audio jack, micro SD again on the smaller variant, bioanalysis sensors, notchless screen and capacitive fingerprint sensor? Well, not really, I contend. Now, I hope I'm able to be more objective than most here, since Samsung hasn't flown me into the event and hasn't given me an NDA review device to play with. It's true that the future will see all singing, all dancing, all screen smartphones that have no ports or jacks or ways in. Think Star Trek pads, or things they hand around on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. Think integral storage, eSIM, Bluetooth data and audio, Qi wireless charging. All the technology is there already. So I'm not blind, I can see where the trends are leading, but they have to produce a gadget which can do significantly more than the current offerings now available at significantly less, now that the latest generation is out, of course. Samsung's clearly taking aim at the future here, and I don't blame it. I'm not slamming the Note 10 per se. It looks a perfectly excellent bit of future-proof technology. It's just a year too early, given that the Note 9 and even the Note 8 already exist and are still working superbly. Now, newcomers to Samsung will embrace the Note 10, mind you, especially if they're switchers from the likes of the iPhone, where audio jacks have long since been banished, where capacitive fingerprint scanners went out in 2017, and where phones have never been user expandable. To these folk, the Note 10 is the ultimate Android device, perhaps, and price be damned. For the rest of us, and referencing my own video linked below on the subject of shiny, save your money and buy last year's Note 9 at half the price. Spend an extra £30 or so on a 256GB microSD and you're utterly sorted. You don't need 12GB of RAM, you really don't. Maybe you're missing the new wide-angle camera. Well, fair enough, though it's often possible just to take a step or two backwards instead. And if you already own the Note 9, then rejoice that you won't have to spend any more money for quite a while. You already own the ultimate Android phone for 2019. It can plug into any audio source. It can be expanded if needed in terms of storage. The Note 9 has health sensors that I, for one, would miss. You can unlock it and authenticate for payments faster than the new Note 10 owners can. Begging the question, at what point should stick-in-the-muds like me, and maybe you, throw in the towel and upgrade? Maybe the Note 12 or Samsung Galaxy S13? Clearly, one day, data will be so cheap and so fast and so ubiquitous for us all that internal storage on phones becomes fairly irrelevant. One day, Face ID will be instant and on every phone. Hey, watch Google in 2 months' time. One day, wireless audio will be such high quality and of such low latency that wired headphones simply won't be needed. One day, our biometric under-the-skin implants will talk to our phones via Bluetooth LE, and the concept of holding a finger over a sensor will seem archaic to measure what our bodies are up to. One day, all front cameras will operate from under the display, making notches and punch holes unnecessary. One day. Yes, much of the technology is already around, but it will take years, not months or weeks, to become mainstream and acceptable to everyone. I don't expect to replace my Galaxy S9 Plus shooting this for at least another year, and I've had it for 18 months, and you shouldn't plan to replace your Note 9 either, saving us both heaps of money. These two devices were the last of a classic, in quotes, Samsung Android generation, and it will take more than the Note 10's faster operation and wide-angle camera to tempt most current owners. I'm still looking forward to reviewing the Note 10 in due course. I'll find a way, but it's underwhelming for the traditional Galaxy Note enthusiast. I contend. It did occur to me that a phone show based on this t-shirt might be quite a fun idea. Can you name all the Nokia models? There's a prize in it if you can. In the meantime, watch this space.